Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today we're going to be doing the next two stages, so the next two planets, which is Saturn and Uranus, of Build the Model Solar System Orrery. Now you may notice that I've actually taken the Orrery off its stand, and the reason for it is a couple of reasons actually. In the next stage that we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking these little feet off and putting something a bit more substantial on them. They're only temporary as well, because when we come to put this on a motor, all the feet are going to be coming off. The other thing is, I want you to look at the dial here, and I have put a picture on the screen here to show you all the planets have symbols apart from Eris and Ceres. Now the reason for that is because at the end of this build we're going to be positioning the planets where they need to be before we start the Orrery off, but they don't actually list in the book, I don't think so, what the symbols mean, which is why I put this little graph on the screen here, or this little decipher if you like, so you can tell what planet is what with what symbol. Now, if you like what you see here, I have put a link down in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen there you can scan. There is an offer on at the moment on this. That's why this video has been running. I don't know how long that offer's lasting, but check that out if you want to get this for yourself. You'll be able to get that from that website there. But without further ado, let's do Saturn. So once again, this is everything that we've got in the pack here, but as you can see, we've got these 3 feet for the base. So let's get them out first and change them over. Now to take these old feet out, all I can do is just unscrew them basically. So get them all out. We're not going to need these again. But I am going to put temporarily these ones in. Now they just clip in here, so you can just push them in like that. 1, 2, because this Orrery is getting a lot heavier now. This is number 3 here. It does need a little bit more surface area just to keep that stable there. Now I may as well just keep that out for a second, because when we're actually building the Orrery here, I do need to take it off of that spindle to put the next lot of gears in. But let's create those gears. So just like what we used to, we're going to be taking this bush and we're going to be putting it into the larger of these 2 gears here. Open up the screws. Now remember, all the screws are the same size except for one of them, which is going to be longer than the rest of them. So I'm just looking through them now. This is the long one. I'm going to keep that to one side. Something I didn't show you is Saturn. There you go. That's what Saturn is looking like. Pretty cool, huh? With its rings. And also with Saturn, there's 146 moons, but they've chosen to put 3 of the largest ones here. So I'm guessing these are Titan, Enceladus and Mimas. So just going to put that to one side. We'll get these screws in. This is the last screw going in here. So what I'm going to do then is turn it over, and we've got, once again, a collar to go in. I need to make sure I put this collar in the right way. So it goes in this way, like that. And I need a grub screw just to hold it in from this side. And do you remember I showed you those planet symbols before? This will be the grub screw that we're loosening up to rotate them round to the correct positions to start the Orrery running. So I'm just going to get this in. I will make that tight, and that will stop that ring turning at the moment. Put the other side in, matching it up with the holes that haven't got screws in at the moment. So it's going to be that way. Got one loaded up here, and we'll get the next 3 screws in here. Now we should be getting used to doing all these gears now, because we're going to put that to one side, bring over this bracket here, and we're going to take the larger of the bushes to go down the bottom, and that larger bush holds the larger gear here. Get that into place, and that's screwed in with a normal size screw. And remember, we had that big long one that's going to be going into the bottom gear. So that one at the top, turn it over, put the bush in the other side here so it fits flat, put the little gear over the top, and then take the longer screw, this is an 8mm screw, and screw that into place just here. So that turns like that. Now before we put all this together, once again, I'm going to lay out a cloth, and I'm not going to put the planets on until the ends now. So I'm just going to keep Saturn here, and I'm taking off all the planets of the solar system onto this soft cloth because I'm going to need to turn this upside down. It does help if you remember what they look like. Venus there, Mercury, Mars. Just keep that to one side. So this is what we've got so far of the Orrery. I'm going to take the sun out now. Just like that, and keep that to one side. Because I'm going to start putting the next gears in. So I'm holding this into my hand now. I really don't want to put any pressure on these now. So, just like last time, take a washer and drop that down the top. Take the next gear, the larger gear facing down. It's going to go over the top here. And it's going to mesh with that little gear just there. We take another washer, put that over the top, make sure it's seated, and then we're going to be taking this gear with the larger side facing down, and again that's going over the top. And I want a grub screw to put that into position. Now it might have been easier to put this grub screw on before we put that on here. But as you can see, it's going on, no problems at all. Wait until I get a little bit of torsion on it, then I'm going to line it up with the rest of them and tighten it up. It is becoming a handful now, that's for sure. There you go, that's in place. I'm just checking that they're all in line. That looks absolutely perfect. Now, as I said, I'm not going to be putting the other planet on, but I do need to put the planet arm on. So I am just going to use the base now. Now it's a lot more stable. Put that in there. This is what Saturn's arms looks like. So we've got the open end there and the closed end. It's the closed end that's going to go into that ring, which means I need to load up the last grommet screw like that. Get that in. And again, for me, much easier if I lift the table up for me. And what I'll do is I'll put the arm in here like we've done on the previous stage and just tighten it with the grommet screw. Even needed my glasses for that, but that is in place. And this is what that's looking like. Now, as I said, I'm not going to put the planets on. We're going to do that after the next stage. So in stage 8, we've got the parts here. This is going to be the gears for Uranus. Let's get all of these out. Now, this is what Uranus looks like. Now, I think Uranus has got 5 moons, but this one here has only got 1 on it. So I'm guessing this is the largest one, which I think is Titania, something like that. But that is the Uranus planet. Now, you know that we are professionals at this now. So once again, I'm going to be putting the bush at the bottom here, screwing this in with 3 of the smaller brass screws. We'll get them in. It's amazing how quick we can actually go through this now. Obviously, we've done this 8 times. And it's exactly the same. The only difference that we're having is that obviously the gear sizes are different. Again, I'm going to be putting this collar on, but I want this section here to be on my left. So that will just go on like that. We do want to hold that into place with a grub screw. So I've got that here, and that's just going to go into this opposite side here. And that's going to stop this spinning. As you can see, it can spin at the moment, but when I tighten it up, just like that, it can't spin anymore. But we will need to loosen that to line the planets up at the end. I'm then going to be putting this gear just over the top here, making sure that's all lined up. Perfect. And then 3 of the smaller brass screws again. And there we go. That's that complete. All we're going to do now, put that to one side, bring over the gear arm, and this time again we're going to take the larger of the bushes going in there. I will clean this all up with my fingerprints afterwards, so don't worry about that. Put the larger gear on top and a smaller brass screw just through the top there. My fingerprints are bothering me now, so I should really do this with white gloves on, I think. Turn that over. Put the other bush in the other side so it fits flush in there. The smaller gear. but then we've got the larger screw going in here. So it's getting big now. Once again, I'm going to try and find the best way to hold this with my hand. Just like this. Put a washer over the top. Take the gear, the larger gear here. It's going to be facing down. Get that in. And it should mesh with the gear just there. Another washer. Then we're putting on this gear arm again with the larger gear facing down. Make sure it's going around there, no problems at all. Load up a grub screw and get that in this end. Making sure they're all in line, just like that. I'm going to put this back on the base. Just tighten the grub screw up here to keep that into place. And then once again, load up the last grub screw here, because I need to put in the arm for Uranus, which once again means I'm putting the table up. So as you can see there, that's the Uranus arm on. I'm now going to put Saturn and Uranus on this to show you what that looks like. So as you can see, as I turn it, they're all turning. Saturn is moving, albeit very slowly. The further we go out, the slower they're going to be going round. This is going to be mechanical and driven by a motor at the end, but that gives you an idea of how that looks. Just going to polish the sun up. Perfect. But there you go, there's another 2 planets done. In the next stages, we're going to be doing Neptune and Pluto. So stay tuned to that next Solar System Sunday. But if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link down here. You'll be able to get this all the way from pack 1. It does actually come in a kit, so you don't have to wait for parts to come. Everything you need is in one box. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.